Hi guys, Katrina here, the Zebra Wheelie. Welcome back to my channel. Well, I've just pulled into the car park at Belfast Zoo here, and wouldn't you know, it's decided to rain. But luckily I've got my waterproof with me in my bag, so I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been here since I was a kid, and back then they had some animals but not that many. Since then I believe that they've got a pair of breeding zebras, so I will get to see a few of my kind there. If you don't know, the zebra is a mascot for rare conditions, and I have EDS, which used to be considered a rare condition. So I love zebras and all things zebra, given my channel name. I'm really looking forward to it. I had to pre-book the ticket because they're not taking cash due to what's going on at the minute, and plus some of the indoor exhibits are not open, so it means getting wet, but that's just typical Northern Irish weather for you. Although there is plenty of disabled parking, the car park itself is not wheelchair friendly. For example, at that crossing there is no drop curb on either side. So I had to double back round and then come down this step, which if you're a wheelchair user you will know it's quite hard to do that, but I came down with a bump, as you could see, and then I went over to join the queue. I've just checked in with my ticket there. You have to pre-book, as I said earlier. Because of what's going on, they're limiting the amount of people that are in the zoo at any one time. So I pre-booked last night. Unfortunately, I didn't find out that this place was open until last night. I feel like an idiot, really, for not realising that it was. But I asked the guy on the desk there. Apparently they normally have a wheelchair accessible transport that takes you to the top of the zoo, but apparently this morning it got a flat tire. Can only happen to me. The zoo's on a massive hill, so I'm just going to take my time going up and down the hill. And also the zebras and the giraffes are not on display. Apparently there's something wrong with their cage, but oh well. So I took another leaf out of the carpetbagger's book, and I found a pressed penny machine in the lobby of the zoo. And I got a little souvenir, if it'll stay in focus.
Lovely.
Now, see the reptiles? This is a mangrove snake in this tank. I think he might be hiding, but I definitely can't see him. Two bearded lizards, one's going through a shed. I love reptiles. Bearded tortoise, sound asleep in his little hide. And there's his mate. Little baby. Madagascar tree boa. It's curled up at the back there. And right up there at the back is a Gidgee skink from Australia, Cuban tree boa, and he's enjoying himself in his pond there. And this guy here is very well camouflaged. He's a mossy frog, and as you can see he just looks like a bit of moss, but he's clinging on tightly to that rock there. So this is the squirrel enclosure, and it explains a bit about the invasion of the grey squirrels, which are an invasive species here. Our natural species is the red squirrel. I can't see any out, but they're in that cage. I did see one down there, but I almost broke my gimbal trying to film it. Oh, gorgeous. Are you getting jealous, are you? The yellow mongoose. I can't see if he's in there or not. I don't know what this guy is, but he looks like a warthog or something. He's busy chewing on his grass there. The warthog decided to go for a swim there. Yeah. The Darwin's ray. It looks a bit like an ostrich. And there's one or two over there. They do look very like ostriches, apart from the colour of their feathers. Colombian spider monkey. They're busy sat in their perch eating their food. The Anderson's bear. Aren't they beautiful? This guy is called the Southern Screamer, and his mate beside him here is the Southern Purdue. Where is he? There he is. And there's the penguin house. Unfortunately, I can't get down there because the hill's too steep. The whole of Belfast Zoo is on a steep hill, and because the accessible cart that they use had broke down with its flat tire, I had to get help from strangers to push up the hill. I'm absolutely wrecked, but it's totally worth it. There's the sea lions, and these two guys have decided to have an argument. Now there's a big standoff, and this guy is just busy sunning himself and ignoring the other two. That would be the perfect photo op. Sorry about the Foggy Lands, my camera got wet. But this is where I almost fell out of my chair. It looks not too bad on this camera, but it was actually way steeper than it looks here. And I almost fell out of my chair trying to get down this hill. This little guy is called a prairie dog. He's gorgeous. He's seen me trying to get down that hill, and he came running over to me. And yeah, I've nothing for you. Sometimes animals look at me as if to say, what's that? Some of them are frightened by the wheelchair and some of them are intrigued by it, but this little guy doesn't seem to mind. So the flamingo exhibit is closed, but I managed to find a hole in the hedge and I can see these guys. Apparently these guys eat shrimp, and it's their food that gives them their pink colour. Without the shrimp they would just be white. The Souvenir Shop. I like the pun there. Let's head inside and see what they have. Unfortunately the Souvenir Shop, or Souvenir Shop as they call it, didn't have any stuffed zebras. I asked the girl behind the counter and apparently they're quite in demand. So I got this guy. He's a llama and I'm going to call him Jimmy. And Max is not getting this, no way. So as you've seen there, I almost came out of my wheelchair trying to get back down the hill. The whole Belfast Zoo site is on a hill, on a pretty steep hill at that, but only for the wheelchair accessible golf cart thing that I have getting a flat tire, I would have used it. But today I'm going to give the Belfast Zoo a 5 out of 10 rating for their disability access. But again, that's mainly because of the thing with the golf cart. But some of the steep hills are very, very steep, and which would be dangerous to go down, and you would need assistance to push up. I had to ask a few strangers there to push me up the hill a couple of times, and a nice kind gentleman helped me, which was wonderful. But I've built up my biceps now anyway. And plus they only had one toilet open, which of course was a disabled toilet, and every single person was having to use the disabled toilet, which is really annoying. Like, I should have had all the other toilets open as well, and there's no changing places available. I think that 5 stars is pretty generous given that this attraction was built in the 1930s, so it's going to stay at 5 stars for me. As you've noticed, some of the cages that the animals are in are quite small. Again, this is because the zoo was built in the 1930s, and back then they didn't have much understanding about animal welfare. I know they're trying to look for a better site for the zoo. I hope they do it soon. And plus some of the attractions were closed. I know the reptile house was open, which you've seen. That was it. and it was pretty packed like. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe by clicking below, and remember to hit the notification bell, as YouTube does not notify you when I upload a video unless you hit the notification bell. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.